If you only knew the power of the dark side, it is your destiny.
This is Take the Gate. It is June 26th, 2014, and I'm covering a story out of Salon written by Lindsay Abrams. Pennsylvania health officials ordered to ignore fracking-related health complaints. Former Department of Health employees say they were forbidden to talk about drilling. Live near one of the more than 6,000 fracking wells drilled on Pennsylvania within the last 6 years, suffering from skin rashes, nausea, nosebleeds, and worried that nearby drilling is to blame? Don't bother calling the Department of Health, which apparently isn't concerning itself with these sort of things. Pennsylvania, situated on top of the natural gas-rich Marcellus Shale, has been the focal point of the nation's fracking boom, the potential health impacts of which we know little. And according to the damning report from NPR, State Impact, the state has dealt with the lack of information about the health risks of fracking, not by studying the health risks of fracking, but by ignoring the problem and hoping it goes away. And this is all due to Government Corbett's malfeasance. So I will let you read this little quote from the Department of Health, but I'm going to skip down. In other words, the agency appears to be treating the idea that fracking could cause health problems like some sort of crazy conspiracy theory, a categorization that is kind of hard to justify considering that the peer-reviewed research linking air and water pollution from oil and gas drilling to a bevy of health concerns. In Dallas, a jury recently awarded a family $3 million for damage caused by drilling near their property, including physical pain and suffering. A State Department of Health spokesperson denied the allegations and said that all complaints related to fracking are sent to the Bureau of Epidemiology. Only 51 cases have been logged, she added, and the agency has yet to find a link between drilling and illnesses. That's easy to do when you are manufacturing what is happening on the toxicology end and the epidemiological end of the chemicals related to fracking. If there isn't more research to help establish a link, it could be because this is an emerging field and because the industry has had a vested interest in keeping such information quiet. In cases which residents have fought drillers and won, the terms of their settlements are often accompanied by gag orders. And if there are no health impacts that have been documented in Pennsylvania, that could be because the state is yet to conduct even one study dedicated to this purpose. Of over the $630 million the state has raised through its impact fee, which is distributed among agencies involved in regulating drilling, one expert interviewed said that not one penny has been allocated to the Department of Health. Governor Tom Corbett declined to comment. And I also know that in Pennsylvania, word is that they are considering raising the taxes owed for gas drilling companies to make up a budget shortfall. So I'm going to take you to this other article out of Pennsylvania, and it says that the former Pennsylvania health employees' bosses enforced silence on shale drilling. So this investigative report revealed Thursday that Pennsylvania state health employees may have compounded the dangers of the Marcellus shale drilling by systematically refusing to respond to residents' concerns about it, just like that of the Board of Health in Pennsylvania. And this is written by Brandon Baker on EcoWatch. And I will leave a link to this at the bottom as well. And I'm going to move right along to this last article out of Pennsylvania that also concerns fracking. And this is written by Marie Cusick, and it is on the State Impact NPR website that we heard about before in the other article. Did Pennsylvania's highest court unravel environmental protections for oil and gas? As you can see here in this graphic, we have a gas drilling well site, and they have to maintain a 300 feet distance from any wetlands or streams. Well, the court struck that down, and Corbett is worried at the bottom of this. I'll just read you his quote. "This action, which could imperil our water quality, is simply unacceptable," Corbett said. In a statement referring to the court's decision, "I am calling upon Pennsylvania's oil and gas operators to honor both the spirit and intent of these setback provisions to continue helping us protect Pennsylvania's water and natural resources." End quote. So, the state Supreme Court's decision to strike down parts of Act 13 as unconstitutional last month was hailed as a victory for local governments and environmental groups who argued that the 2012 oil and gas law violated the environmental rights of Pennsylvanians. But the court decision also undid parts of the law requiring minimum setbacks for oil and gas development near streams and wetlands. That's because Act 13 compelled the State Department of Environmental Protection, the DEP, to waive setback requirements if drillers submitted a plan showing that they would take adequate precautions to protect waterways. According to the DEP, less than 10% of the permit applications seek waivers, and the court found this to be unacceptable. Even these modest restrictions can be averted by the gas industry, wrote Chief Justice Ronald Castile in the majority opinion. So the governor is asking them to maintain that 300-foot safe distance, minimum safe distance, from the wetlands and streams, or groundwater contamination will eventually envelop through saltwater, breakout, or gas being pushed back up to the surface from underneath older drilling sites, and then seep into waterways and wetlands. Not to mention the corrosive pollution from chemicals that these gas drilling companies use. This is Take the Gate. Please comment, rate, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. Signing out.